Hello everyone, welcome back to YouTube channel MJ Manjari. I hope you all are doing well. Today's video is going to be particularly helpful for our class 10 student out there gearing up for their board exam. The CBSE class 10 social science exam will happen on Thursday, March 7. Explore the important days in history featured in CBSE class 10 board exam. So grab your notebook and let's get started. Chapter 1, Rise of Nationalism in Europe. 1789, the French Revolution. 1805, the birth of Mussolini. 1850, to draft a compromise for Europe, the representative of the European nation, including Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, who had defeated Napoleon, together convened in Vienna. 1815, Napoleon was overthrown. 1850, Vienna Protocol. 1821, the struggle for Greek freedom began. 1824, Lord Byron, an English poet, died in 1824. 1830, in July 1830, there was first uprising in France. 1832, Treaty of Constantinople. 1833, when the emergent travelled from Habsburg to Nuremberg in 1833 to sell his goods, he had to go through 11 custom checkpoints and pay a custom tax that was about 5% of his travel cost. 1834, Israeli Custom Union was established. 1848, a French painter by the name of Frederic Seurat produced a quartet of work in 1848 that depict his vision of a world with the democratic and socialist republics. 1848, the authoritarian kingdom of Central and Eastern Europe introduced changes after 1848 that has previously occurred in Western Europe before 1815. 1859, Piedmont and Sardinia were successful in defeating the Austrian army. 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of United Italy. 1867, the Habsburg ruler granted more autonomy to the Hungarian. 1871, the Prussian was proclaimed German Emperor. 1707, the Act of Union between England and Scotland. Chapter number 2, Nationalism in India. 1915, Gandhiji returned to India. 1970, Gandhiji went to Champaran, Bihar. 1970, Khedar Satyagraha in Gujarat. 1918, Ahmedabad mill strike. 1918 to 1919 and 1920 to 21, there is a severe food scarcity as a result of many Indian region crops failing. 1919, Rowlatt Act. 13 April 1919, Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. 1990, Khilafat Committee was formed in Bombay. 1920, in the summer of 1920, Gandhiji and Sakawat Ali to and extensively throughout the India. 1920, Nagpur session. Non-cooperation program was adopted by National Congress. 1909, Gandhiji wrote Hind Swaraj. 1920, June, Jawaharlal Nehru began going around the village in Awadh. 6th April 1921, the police in United Provision fired at the peasant near Raebareli. January 1921, the non-cooperation Khilafat movement began. 1921 census. According to the census, famine and other disaster caused the death of 12 to 13 million people. 1921, House of Talukdar and merchant were attacked. 1921, Gandhiji had designed the Swaraj flag. February 1922, Gandhiji decided to withdraw the non-cooperation movement. 1924, Ram Raju was captured and executed. 1926 to 1930, agriculture price began to fall from 1926 and collapsed after 1930. 1927, the establishment of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries. 1928, Simon Commission arrived in India. 1928, All-Party Conference. October 1929, Lord Irwin offered Dominion status. December 1929, Purna Swaraj was demanded. 26 January 1930, Independence Day was celebrated for the first time. 6th April 1930, Salt Satyagraha was started. April 1930, angry crowd demonstrate in the street of Peshawar. 1930, Muhammad Iqbal stepped down as Muslim League president. 5th March 1931, Gandhi-Irwin Pact. December 1931, the political leader of Indian freedom struggle was released from jail. September 1932, Pune Pact. 1932 and 1930 and 1932, there was a strike by railway worker in 1930 and dockyard worker in 1932. 1934. By 1934, the civil disobedience movement lost its momentum. 14th July 1942, the Indian National Congress endorsed the historic Quit India resolution. 3000, Chapter 3, The Making of Global World. 3000 BC, West Asia today and Indus Valley civilization are connected by inactive coastal trade. 1870, live animals were transported from America to Europe until 1870. 1880, in late 1880, Renderpest arrived in Africa. 1885, in 1885, the big European power met in Berlin to complete the carving up of Africa between them. 1890, by 1890, a global agriculture economy has taken shape. 1920, the housing and consumer boom of the 1920 created the basic of prosperity of the US. 1929, by 1929, the world would be plunged into a depression such as it had never experienced before. 1929 to 1930, the Great Depression began. Between 1928 and 1934, India export and import nearly halved. 1935, by 1935, most industrialized nations were experiencing a mild economic recovery. Chapter 4, The Age of Industrialization. 1750, by the 1750, the network controlled by Indian merchant was breaking down. 1760, Britain was importing 2.5 million pounds of raw cotton to feed its cotton industry. 1760, after 1760, the colonization of East India Company power did not immediately cause a reduction in India textile export. 1781, James Watt made improvement to the Newcomen steam engine and patented the new engine in 1781. 1787, by 1787, the import of cotton increased to 22 million pounds. 1840, up to 1840, the cotton was the leading sector in the first phase of industrialization. 1850, by the 1850, report from the majority of India's weaving region described tale of decline and misery. 1854, the first cotton mill in Bombay came up. 1874, by 1874, the first spinning and weaving mill of Madras began production. 1900, dawn of century was written. Between 1900 and 1912, cotton piece production in India doubled. Between 1900 and 1940, cloth production expanded steadily in India, specifically handloom. Chapter 5, Print Culture and Modern World. 594 AD. From 594 AD, books in China were printed by wrapping paper. 768 to 778 AD, hand printing technology introduced in Japan. 868 AD, the first and oldest Japanese book printed. 1295, Marco Polo returned to Italy. 1448, by 1448, Gutenberg perfected the printing press system. 1450 and 1550, between 1450 and 1550, printing press spread all over Europe. 1570, religious reform Martin Luther wrote 95 theses criticizing many of the practices and ritual of Roman Catholic Church. 1579, first Tamil book was written in Cochin. 1710, the Dutch Protestant missionaries had printed 32 Tamil texts. 1713, the first Malayalam book was printed. 1810, the Ramcharitmanas of Tulsidas came out from Calcutta. 1821, Sambat Kumudi began to publish Ram Mohan Roy. 1822, from 1822, James is Jahanuman and Shankara Akbar was started. 1867, Deoband Seminary was founded. 1871, Gulamgiri was published. 1878, the Vernacular Press Act. 1997, Punjab revolutionaries were deported. 1930, the Great Depression. And there you hit, folks, the most important days in history for class 10th board exam. Remember, Consistent revision, practicing sample paper and solving previous year question are key to performing well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Best of luck with your exam and I see you in the next video. Happy studying.